I learn about different things people are doing, different challenges. I think here in Taiwan, the example of the political parties discussing mapping in Nepal is fascinating, because that doesn't come out where the global community knows about that, but that's a very different type of problem that we haven't considered. So it's important to know about these differences. And more than anything that you can do to help is get mapping. Probably already doing that. But without mappers, we don't have a map, and all of that other stuff does not matter. Map yourself, teach others to map. Anyway, thank you.
Question from our audience.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
yes, questions?
From our audience. 有任何的问题吗？你可以讲中文没关系，我可以。Yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand BOUK.
In English, it's one of the sounds the chicken makes. I'll have to find out in Mandarin what sound a chicken makes.
Yeah, and please.
Do you think where OSS should go for the next 3 or 5 years?
So I would like us to, at some point, have an executive director and a small staff so that we can be a little more focused. Because right now, if something needs to get done, someone has to want to do it. Versus if you buy someone's time, it's easier. I think that's going to be a difficult transition because they're sort of going from nothing to getting over that hill. At the Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, I worked another full-time job for the first year. And when I quit that job, I took a really big risk. I quit with only 2 months worth of salary possible. And I don't think the OpenStreetMap Foundation should do it that way. We need to find some better funding. I think the corporate membership program, if it were revamped and made bigger, might be a good way to do that.
Okay, second time talk. I'm wondering, I'm a part of Wikipedia, and what I see the fundraising model in the OpenStreetMap vision of what I heard is a little bit different than we have a notice board in the Wikipedia homepage, and Jimmy Wells will say, donate me. So there are a lot of small but like crowdfunding across over the globe. So I'm wondering, how do you think if the OSM.org website just put the I saw there are just fund for the server this kind of fundraising campaign, and how does it work? And do you think you can make it better, have an A/B test to make which words are more fascinating to the small donors? Yeah, how do you think in that fundraising model? Thank you.
I think crowdfunding has potential, but one difference between OpenStreetMap and Wikipedia is the majority of people using Wikipedia go to wikipedia.org. The majority of the people using OpenStreetMap go to Facebook or Foursquare or Apple. And so there isn't a good way to get the donate button where all the eyeballs are. So I think some potential, but I don't think it could be the main source of income for that reason. But maybe there are ideas out there where that can work.
Any more questions? Any more questions?
Yeah, please.
So you mentioned about some of the working groups in the foundation. So obviously there will be like quite different governing model for different, such as the operation is probably totally different from the discussion. So how do you decide a governing model for individual work groups, and how do you bless them to say, okay, this is how we do it?
The working groups have been around a really long time, and some have stronger governance models than others. Technically, the foundation blesses the working groups, but it must have happened before my time. We've never really run into a situation where a working group did something, and then we had to come in and say no, but we do ask them to do things.
Any more questions from our audience? I think it is about time, but I still have a question. Next 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes. I have a little bit tough question about this Asian country. We use a different language from English. The first time I promote OpenStreetMap stuff in Taiwan, the big challenge is how can I translate English to Chinese, especially to traditional Chinese. And the Asian country have a different language. You have been in Indonesia for a long time, so maybe you have the experience how to deal with the different language problem and community problem in the local community.
I think in growing the local community, usually it seems to me like 1 or 2 people starts translating things. Is how a lot of communities have started. I think if we had better support of what makes the most sense to translate, because right now if you were to go to the OpenStreetMap wiki and say, I'm going to translate something, it would be a lot of work for not much return. I think having country-specific sites is great as well. I don't have a good answer for how we talk to each other across countries. I think that's the most difficult thing. The OpenStreetMap Foundation language is English, but then there's very strong communities in other languages as well, where people do amazing things, and no one ever knows. So I think if it's possible, so translating to whatever the local language is important. But I think getting the stories out too, maybe through the communication working group, is also important.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, this time is up in this session, and we will thank you, Kat, again. 接下来呢就是这个点睛，那个一个 break， 是吧？所以，好，接下来是一个 break， 所以呢，外面备有点心，然后请大家可以到外面去享用点心。那接下来场次呢会分成2轨，就是这有一场，然后呢在这个 R2 就是的第2会议室呢会有一场。那就请各位呢看这个的议程呢，选择你要去的地方哦。那这个会议室呢，或是隔壁的会议室呢，都不能携带饮食进来，只能带水。那特别提醒各位呢，不要把这个东西带进来里面吃哦。好，那我们这个 session 呢就结束，谢谢各位。